G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a grease gun SMG. This is a redux of a mod that was previously made by Deadpool, but improved, complete with new attachments, animation fixes, and a little bit of leveled-less injection as well. So the grease gun was a weapon that existed in real life. It was a World War II era submachine gun that was adopted by the US military late during the Second World War. This thing, in comparison to the Thompson, which would fire the same 45 caliber cartridge, is cheaper to produce, easier to produce, and quite a bit smaller than the Thompson submachine gun, which allowed tank crews, for example, to more easily utilize this within the confines of their M4 Shermans back in the day. So lots of bonuses to this thing. It does sacrifice a little bit of accuracy, probably due to the barrel length of this thing. As you can tell, the barrel is like, it's nothing. There's basically zero barrel there. So that might hurt your accuracy over range, but a weapon like this, I don't think you're worried about accuracy too much. As long as you can get some bullets down range in a quick fashion, those krauts won't know what even hit them. Cast your minds back to Fallout New Vegas. You might recognize this thing as a 9mm SMG. Yeah, a lot of the weapons in that game were derived from real-life things, and they just took the grease gun, down-chambered into a 9mm variant, and then off she went. There was also a unique one with a big drum mag called Vikkie and Vance's submachine gun. A little bit of a Bonnie and Clyde reference, but I digress. Although, probably worth mentioning that there were 9mm types of the grease gun that were produced, but I don't think they were ever used during the combat during the Second World War. Enough chit-chat, let's do up this M3 submachine gun. Grease gun sounds cooler, so we'll keep using that. Let's go over the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers. If we scroll all the way down here, advanced auto receiver gives us a respectable 105 damage per shot. Our DPS lagging behind thanks to the slow fire rate of this thing, but there's more upgrades yet. This thing, we haven't seen its full potential, so we'll move on. Next up, we've got the barrels. You can have this short barrel on right now. Extend your accuracy and range out a little bit with the standard barrel, and there's also a suppressed barrel, which with Ace Operator gets us just over 1100 DPS. So that's pretty good. It also increases our range a little bit compared to the short barrel, but the long barrel does give us a higher range overall because, you know, balancing reasons and all of that. Next, we've got the grip. You can have a standard grip, a folded stock, a extended stock. This one is a comfort grip. It's got some tape around it, and there's also an extended taped version there. The tape matches the wrap around the suppressor, so I suppose that works, even though it looks a little bit garish, but we'll move on. Next, we've got the magazines. You have a standard one, a drum magazine, just like Vikkie and Vance. There's also a quick eject version of these things, so if we chuck on this quick eject drum, apparently that's going to make our DPS go up a lot, but that's just a bug, so don't worry about it. And next, we've got iron sights, and our DPS is coming back down to earth after we attach these on. You also got glow sights, also in red, teal, or white. You've also options for reflex sights, some holographics as well, and even some scopes, which, it's only a short scope, so it's not exactly pushing it, but probably best to go with some sort of reflex sight. So we'll go for the circle one there. And you've also got a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. We'll leave that, and, well, that's our grease guns. Let's talk about getting them, and then we'll start shooting stuff. The grease gun is injected onto leveled lists, but at varying levels. At level 5, you'll be able to find this thing in vendors, and all the way through level 12, you will start seeing this on legendary raiders and gunners and such. But yes, level 5, low-level weapon, fairly cheap, but easy to get. Alrighty, we're back at Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our grease gun in first person, aiming down this cool little reflex sight. Notice how the birds disappear? That's interesting. Anyway, so there's your rate of fire. It's around, what, 550 to 600, so it's going to be slow. It's going to slow down our DPS a little bit, but at least it makes the 45 cartridge controllable. Now, I've got the tactical reload in, so if I don't expend all my magazines, I don't have to pull the charging handle back or whatever you might do with this weird looking thing. But yeah, it's just going to make reloads faster if I do the tactical reload. So this is sniper status. This one is semi-automatic. Not a lot of recoil to be had there. Very good. Looks to be a good start. And we've also got a shorter scope on this thing, which According to this, gives you better aim with scopes, and there is literally 0 scopes way to speak of when we're crouching. That's going to make things easy. And of course, I've got an automatic one without the suppressor and a drum magazine and sights. This one's sort of emulating Vikkie and Vance's submachine gun. Not exactly the bullet hose it was in Fallout New Vegas, but it's good enough. Alright, let's begin. Also, you might notice that it works the classic holstered weapons. Here's Winter. We've got a full dress goth outfit going on here. Boots, black skirt, leather top, you know. So we're going for a very gothic look instead of the standard Vault suit here. Also, the bleach blonde look. I thought that looked pretty good on Poppy, so yeah, we'll emulate that on Winter. And we're in the blonde Sheila era now, so everyone's going to be blonde. And before you start looking at me like that, no, eye color doesn't matter. Let's begin, shall we? Looks like the gunners had their warm-up in taking out... I don't need to hold my breath at all. The gunners had their warm-up taking out the insects, and now we can sort of get started with the sniping. Let's slow down a little bit here and see what we can do utilizing VAFs. Since we're laser beam accurate, we'll try to go for some headshots here. Could have made a little bit better of that, made a little bit of a meal of it, but so far so good. And eventually these guys are going to start charging down the road to try to face me, so really just keep hitting them. And as you can tell, they're dropping on the ground before I kill them. We get sniper knockdowns out of this thing. Very useful for neutralizing threats before they stop breathing, or their heart stops beating, or they've stopped functioning if they're a robot, for example. And as we get as they creep in a little bit closer, we can make more use out of this thing's actual range. And now, we're in full danger now. And as you can tell, yeah, we can still one-mag them, but the time to kill, it's a little bit long. So let's go into VAFs here for a second. Take out that turret. Carry a little bit of extra gun food damage against this guy. And now we begin. Now, let's play this a little bit smarter and not charge these guys down so I'm like fighting 50 at once. We'll go around this way instead. Yes. And back into sneaky mode here. The great sneaky plan didn't work. But we're doing okay. Yes, it definitely feels like that. Ooh. That was interesting. Definitely feels like we're playing with like a level 5 to 12 weapon here, but she's still doing a good job. I don't mind it. Haven't really got to mess around with a stealth commando aspect of this just yet, but maybe that'll come at this moment right here. Whilst we're in the shadows, we might be able to sneak a couple of sneak crits in, and excuse me, hello, there you are. Well, 200 damage, it ain't massive amounts of damage. We're not breaking the damage bank with it, but still it's better than, what, nothing. So that's pretty good. And I can confidently say, despite this thing having a much slower rate of fire than your vanilla game submachine gun, for example, I'm fairly certain this thing would out DPS it. The extra damage per shot just allows me to punch through the gunner's heavy armor, not to mention their 50% damage reduction thanks to the current difficulty. Just makes it a little bit easier. Let's add a crit into the mix here. Very nice. That did okay. And this gunner private, he's only a little baby, so take him out pretty easy. Let's go over to our version that doesn't have the suppressor. This one's going to have less damage because Ace Operator is no longer active without the suppressor. Not really paying attention, are we? That first hit for 400, very nice. It'd be cool if I kept that one going, but no. We're using something a little bit bigger. Louder. I don't know, maybe it is bigger. Alright. This is where Gunfu comes in. We can rely a little bit on our accuracy or our VATS damage reduction just to make this a little bit more bearable. That second guy there got that huge damage bonus, but we've still got a shit ton of gunners to deal with, and we're not getting through them as quickly as I'd like. What I might do here is just do a little bit of gunner juggling and We didn't get a sniper knockdown there, but we'll try to get one here. Nice rag though, that was pretty cool. I don't think that'll net us any fall damage kills there, but that was kind of cool. Come on, sit down. Sit down. There it is. Getting a little bit unlucky with the sniper rolls here, but still doing okay. Could probably have let the mysterious stranger take that guy out, but whatever. We just don't have the damage to kill these guys in a quick enough fashion to keep the VATs running for a long time, but still, it's performing most admirably, I'd say. We have to just slow down a little bit to make sure we aren't fighting too many at once. The iron sights here. If I wasn't getting the hit markers to confirm my hits, I'd have no idea what I'm actually shooting at, so I suppose there's a bonus in the hit markers there. But yes, the iron sight's not particularly useful. Of course, you could always go into third person instead if you want to bypass all of that nonsense entirely. So we'll do that. And it's been a little bit of a slog, but we're almost done here. So I think the only ones remaining are going to be the little door breach room here. So we'll fly over and open her up and see what we can do. There we go.
Yes.
Alright, that went actually pretty well, all things considered. Couple of sneak crit kills on the first couple, and that last one was staggered long before he could actually draw his weapon and fire upon me. So, yeah, despite it being a little bit less powerful than some of the other weapon mods we've had as of recently, then, well, I think he still did a pretty good job. And is it balanced? Probably. It's not going to be steamrolling absolutely everything you pointed at, but, you know, it does the job. Not convincingly as some other weapons, but the job's done. We're okay here. So play to this weapon's strengths. Don't engage too many at once. And for a weapon like this, you'll have some success. Okay, time to make more use out of some sniper knockdowns. So first of all, we're just not very stealthy at the moment. Must be these boots are too loud. We're clumping it up a little bit. But alright, now he's knocked down and sufficiently locked down. We're not going to get lots of accuracy out of this thing, so I suppose we'll use our crits whilst we can. Make hay while the sun is shining, as it were. Getting crits with sneak criticals just to try to get as much damage as we can out of this thing. There we go. So he's thoroughly locked down, and, you know, 45s in this game aren't cheap, but I feel like this is an efficient approach to using them. We could probably do slightly better out of a standard combat rifle at this stage, just because you get all of that extra range, no matter how the recoil pattern might throw your crosshair off, for example. But yeah, he's totally locked down there. He can't move a single muscle. So let's try to get some of these crits back. I feel like we might need them a little bit earlier. A couple of whiffs there. Definitely pushing this thing to be thoroughly out of range here, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got a full set of VAFs criticals, but not much else for standard VATs. Okay, he's aggro to something else, and there's the damage difference. No more sniper knockdowns. We'll just try to hose him down with this one. And now, there's a damage difference. So we're getting sort of carried there by our sneak criticals, but I think it'll be fine. We can tank a few of those, no problems. Nope. You don't get to hit me, buddy. I refuse to get staggered by your bullshittery. Alright. Should have a decent shot and a slightly better efficiency in VATs. Not really. I'm actually surprised that we get, I mean, it's a 3-round burst, but we get more shots out of our scoped one. At least that's what it feels like. Alright, job's done. And Now he's being consumed by the train carriage. He is out of here. Actually, no, he's inside it. Huh. Well, that's weird. Well, I suppose we'll leave him to his fate. And we'll move on to the next one. This time, I think more sneak criticals, and we got burnt by a few laser rifles back there, and we still haven't cleaned up that blood. Okay, we've dimmed the lights here, and we're going for a proper sneak critical stealth commando approach to this. Now, the question is this guy going to get annoyed by things? I think he is, you know. He's going to walk a little bit closer. Here's what's going to happen. All right, that's number 3, 4, and 5 will be automatic crits. So we'll use them here. Try to get this aggro off of him. And, yep, that's pretty good. And we've got a little bit more options to get some gun through damage. There we go. 600 damage per hit, and hopefully a few more staggers to come. I think I shot the ghoul that was behind him. One more crit left. We'll use it while we can. He's just completely stuck there. Lots of staggers to be had. Now, I wonder if that's just because the rate of fire is making it roll a little bit differently there, but I'm actually genuinely surprised that we're staggering him so much. You know, the 45 cartridge is pretty strong, but I've seen less staggers out of a 5.56 rifle type weapon, so perhaps we rolled lucky there, but the sneak critical has definitely helped us get home pretty fast. And you know what? I think it's time to bring some reinforcements in. Okay, time to take on the bear with a few friends. Again, we're in the blonde Sheila era, so we've got some naturally blondes and some unnaturally blondes. Matilda, Tammie, and Camille, they're naturally blonde. Obviously, Vikkie and Ella are not. And Lily got her hair dyed as well, so she could fit in. So, yep. We've also got Quasar along because, you know, that little robot follows her around everywhere. But everyone's got grease guns. They're dressed up in the cool recon suits. They look like ninjas, but using like ancient weapons, but not so ancient that they're swords, right? This one's got a scope. Some of them have the scoped versions, and some of them have the automatic versions. I can't remember whether I gave the Sniper 2 perk to all of them during their development. So if we see some knockdowns, I'll be genuinely surprised. Unless I do them. We already knew that I could do them, but we'll try to get into a good position here, and if we can knock off some of these bears before they can reach us to maul, that would be great. But everyone wants to just charge right in there. We sort of want to keep our distance, so what are we doing? Right, biggest threat we'll try to eliminate or neutralize first. And I've given Lily plasma grenades, otherwise she'll just throw those Tesla turrets everywhere, and that just creates a mess on the screen, so we can't have that. Alright, we need to do something about this, because Tammie is down. She just got absolutely destroyed by the big bear. And now, at least one of them will try to revive, but at least we've spread out decently, and all of the other bears are down. He's going after the robot. Now it's going after me. I can subvert that by going up here. Now what are you gonna do? He's retreating. The modern / ancient day ninja look is working. It's intimidating, damn it. If he goes after the robot, he's going to be in for a bad time. Because that thing doesn't take a lot of damage. Just gotta chip away at his health bar. Every single shot counts. Incoming grenade. That one missed. Okay, Vikkie got eaten there. We'll just get her going. Yep. That blonde hair. You have expensive hair dyers in the Commonwealth these days. Are they raiders? Are they siding with us? Because if you start opening fire... well, that's what you get. Okay. They killed the bear when I wasn't even looking. So with your own little private army, you can do pretty well with these things. Got a rad-powered heavy metal leg out of that one. So that's cool. What band is that, you reckon? Pantera for heavy metal right leg? Anyways, so that was it. that was the grease gun. With a few allies, you can make it kill even the toughest of foes fairly easily. But you know, these followers are probably overpowered, so may have been a little bit of a flattery towards the grease gun. But you can get things done. But yeah, if wouldn't call it an end game weapon. You might struggle, but you know, early game to mid game, even to like early late, you might be able to get away with this. And in your standard quest lines where you aren't fighting anything strong, like Institute Synth, for example, they'll go down super easy when shot up with this thing. Like even your higher level Brotherhood guys towards your end of your playthrough will probably fall to this thing. So unless you're fighting stuff that is not outside of the bounds of what this game considers normal, any extra vanilla sort of weapons or enemies out there might resist it, but I feel like it does good enough, and it doesn't feel like overpowered, like it's stomping and crushing through everything. So I'd say it's a pass, but yes, a little bit more measured than a couple of other weapon mods that we've found. So if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I like this look for winter. I think I did pretty well with it. That's Vitor mods, by the way, and the wristbands there, they're Easy Girl Gothic thing, so that's pretty good. We're only missing some sort of leather choker to fully complete that emo look, I think. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See ya.